What's up, guys? Sub-Zeric here, back for another VOD review. But before I get into the VOD, we have the final patch for PBE. This is going to be the patch when the set goes live on Wednesday. These are all of the changes. I wanted to just run through them real quick before we hopped into the VOD because this stuff is really, really important as far as what the meta is going to look like. I'm probably going to put out a tier list. I guess I can put one out tomorrow. That's probably the best time to do it, seeing as, I mean, PBE comes out Wednesday. So I'll put in a tier list with this stuff all in mind, but let's go through it real quick. So Poppy gets a decent buff, actually, and a huge buff to her AP scaling. So just like a good buff to Poppy. The idea being Poppy reroll, it must be the idea here. Because, you know, Poppy reroll, I mean, one, she's just not that exciting of a unit, and especially, you know, you're not that hyped to reroll Poppy. Shaco, nerf to his spell AD percent. I think this is an okay nerf, you know, it's not like a huge, like crippling nerf to him. It's not, you know, hurting his like scaling or anything. Well, I mean, it is scaling, but his ability to like scale and get our AD over time, you're not getting rid of that. So that seems reasonable. Echo, a little bit of a buff. I think this is good. Echo is kind of an underwhelming unit. Jhin, pretty decent nerf. An extra auto attack every single cast, including the first one. I feel like that's a pretty decent nerf. I feel like this comp probably needs a little bit more, but we'll see. Brand, pretty big buff, 120 to 150, just on the secondary damage, but still, you know, this is hitting multiple units. So yeah, this is a decent buff. Brand, I think, definitely needed that. Xayah, a little bit of an AD nerf. I think this is good. She was one of the stronger AD options. Ziggs. This is a decent buff and a buff to a cyber boss damage. Okay, yeah, I like this. Ziggs and Brand, I think, were the two really underperforming. It's funny because they were in a lot of the strong comps, but they were really underperforming as units themselves. So I think this does a lot to this. And as long as we nerf Samira, which looks like we did, bullets per AMP from 3 to 2. I love this. Yeah, nerfing vertical AMP Samira, perfect. Renekton, decent nerf as well. Zed, decent nerf. We're going to talk about Zed in today's video, and a pretty big nerf to him, actually, 10% basically off of his AD. Okay, like a little, you know, what's 5 over 55, like 9% or something like that. But, you know, like a 9% nerf to his AD is huge because AD is everything. Viego, a nerf as well. I think this is definitely well needed, though. Actually, his base damage goes down, but his... Oh, yeah, you know, both go down. Yeah, I think that's good. And then little buff to Zac. Okay, cool. And then the other stuff we got here... Anima, can I zoom into this, actually? No, I'm trying this out on Blue Sky. I'll have the link down below. It's... Yeah, I mean, it's on Twitter or Blue Sky. Blue Sky actually is a little bit easier, and you don't need an account to log in, so that's kind of chill. But let's see. Anima squad here, a little bit of a buff at... yeah, a buff at everything bigger than 3 Anima. Yeah, I think this is good. Anima, kind of like a... Not the most exciting vertical right now. Exotech, ooh. Is that... This looks a bit much. 110 to 150 to 200 to... I mean, this is a big buff in the middle here, and then a decent buff at the top end. Wow. We'll see. We'll see. I do think vertical Exotech... I mean, Zeri herself felt a little bit underwhelming. I didn't think vertical Exotech actually felt that underwhelming, so I'm curious to see where this goes. Yeah, this almost seems like a bit too much to me, but we'll see. Golden Ox, a little bit of a buff there. Yeah, I mean, this trait was very underwhelming, and probably a nerf. Yep, nerf at 2, I think is absolutely necessary. Tiny nerf, but I mean, good enough. Oh, and okay, so we do have a decent Nitro nerf here. Less stars for 3-star. The stage bonus HP is going down by, oh my god, 1300 to 800. That's, you know, stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I guess, probably. So stage 5, it's losing 500 HP, unless this is like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Could be that as well. Either way, losing 500 HP at either stage 5 or stage 6 is an insane amount. And then the spell heal, wow, also going down a ton. Wow, this is a huge Nitro nerf. Definitely needed. Is the strongest real comp, like I talked about in last video, by far. Syndicate, nerf to the damage amp a little bit. This is to hit TF a little bit, because TF is not represented here whatsoever, and it's a double hit to Shaco. Okay, yeah, I mean, I think that's fine. It's really only a nerf to 5, or when you have 5 Syndicate, so not the end of the world. But a lot of these comps are playing 5 later. No actual nerf to... Wait, okay. Oh yeah, no, they got stuff in here. Okay, Vanguard nerf, I think absolutely necessary. This was kind of like the strongest frontline trait. Not kind of, it was the strongest frontline trait in the game. Renan's Hurricane, base AD going down, and the pretty big nerf to Renans and Radiant Renans. This item was crazy, though, on Vayne, on Senna, just on a lot of units. Recombobane on 4-2. Restart mission, always transmuted in orbs. Oh, okay, cool. So liquidate disabled, very good. Hall of Mirrors buffed a little bit, tagging spree, bug fix, and then attack speed actually buffed, I guess, and then freestyling. Okay, cool. And then a few bug fixes. Okay, cool. All right, let's hop into the VOD because I have already, we're already 5 minutes. This is gonna be a longer video because I did 5 minutes, not even in the VOD. But overall, I like those changes a lot. I think they hit a lot of the really, really strong comps. I do think Fast 9 will still really, really be dominant. But yeah, a lot of the reroll comps getting pretty well needed nerfs. So I think we're probably gonna see, I would say the meta prior to, last patch or prior to this, patch that is going to come out was definitely, there was a balance between like Fast 8, Fast 9, AD and AP and the reroll, but it was a little bit, it was probably like 60-40 reroll, maybe 65-35 reroll. Now I think we're in a world where we could actually get to maybe 50-50 reroll and other stuff. I'm excited to see where it actually goes here. So yeah, we'll see what happens. This is a game from YBY1 from the Project PBE Finals Day 1 because he did get Day 1, but he had such a great performance over the first few games that I thought, you know what, I have to watch him. Interesting that this is an interesting call-up from YBY1, but it just shows good fundamentals in TFT. Like we could have held Veigar here for four techie in this spot, but I think his idea is I don't want to actually hold Veigar here because my items lean me towards an IE slam. So why would I hold on to this techie opener when I'm probably ideally not going to play into it? I'd love to hold something more like the Jax. Then if I get a Jhin, I can play into that. I think that's so smart. We do have this seems like a very YBY1 take here. We do also have over encumbered, but it's been nerfed, right? Oh, not going to take that. Wow. Okay. What are we looking at here then? I mean, I guess you could just take the over-encumbered. Over-encumbered has been nerfed pretty significantly. If you guys haven't seen, here it is. And we do have the Steadfast. Okay, so we're interesting. Well, maybe just a miss then. I don't know why we didn't hold the Veigar if we were thinking about making like a Steadfast here and playing into AP. But okay, we have this over-encumbered start here. Over-encumbered, like I said, it's been nerfed now. It is only 2 components. You do get 2 bench slots, but that's a pretty big nerf. To be fair, though, over-encumbered has been a broken augment for a long time. So I think it's a pretty reasonable nerf to this augment, but, something to keep in mind. Pick up a Draven here. That's something that we could definitely look at. We already see there is a Cypher player in the lobby, but yeah, we're immediately just going to field this Draven on the board as just a good dude to play. We have Sword open here, so we can definitely still, I mean, the world's our oyster. We can play AD, we can play AP, we can play anything from this spot, and YBI1, he's a pretty good player, so I think he'll know how to flex very, very well. But yeah, as we kind of just chill through the early game, not too many big decisions to be made at this point. I guess I can talk a little bit more about the patch. That augment, what was it called? Liquidate, that got completely removed. If you guys weren't familiar with that one, that was the one where it basically, when you Cypher cashed out, it sold your, it's your bench and your board, I think it was. I never got a chance to take it, but I think it's bench and board for 300% gold value. So it's something, people did the math and you can cash it out for like 100 gold basically for a gold augment. And it gives you a benefit to Cypher as well, I believe. So yeah, it's just, it was a disgusting augment. And yeah, I mean, they've disabled it for now. Maybe they'll bring it back. And it's, I mean, you can tweak the numbers pretty easily for it. Let's see what we take off Carousel here, because we have Sword open, right? Shojin leans us AP, and then, I mean, we can also take Glove and take something like IE and lean AD, but it looks like we're going to lean AP in this spot. Well, yeah, we have the opener for it, right? We have the techies, so why not? And then we also have this Street Demon opener that we have fit in here with the 4, actually, with the Rengar here. Maybe an idea of getting to 5 if we can pick up something like a Jinx. We'll see. Actually, yeah, we have the Senna here, so you probably have to fit that in, right? Yeah, I like this a lot better, just because if it's Slayer, and Senna is one of the best units in the game. No, now that I think about it, actually, no Senna nerf herself, right? Senna was not touched at all. Slayer was not touched at all. And that's why, I mean, the comp that maybe we'll talk about this game that perhaps plays some of these Slayer type units, I think will do quite well on the new patch. It only received the big nerf of Zed losing 5 AD, but I mean, aside from that, I think it should be pretty strong. So we'll see. We'll see what the patch leads into. Like I said, I'm probably gonna talk to my people in my study group later, maybe tomorrow, and then throw a tier list out. Yeah, that should be fun, just to get a sense for it. Because we already actually, if you want to see me, Kai, Demacian Raptor, and Disco, in my head, I said the right name, but I thought Hypno Disco for a second, because I had Hypno on the mind because he won the PBE, Project PBE tournaments. But in any case, us 4, No Hypno, but Disco, I mean, a fantastic player as well. But all of us, we kind of went through everything. We went through our opinions on all the comps, all the units. We even did items as well. Talked a little bit about the comps, but really just made tier lists for units, comps, and items. That's all on Kai's channel. So, you know, I'll throw Kai a bone. He said his goal for this set was to get more subscribers than me, and like, look, we all know like that's gonna be pretty hard for Kai, right? Like, I mean, he's a great guy. He's a handsome man, right? As I always say, father of my children. But I mean, he just doesn't have the level of content that I have here, and that's completely fine. So I'll throw him a bone. You know, go check out that video. It's actually like, if you want a really in-depth video of just good players talking about the set and just kind of like where all the units are at, I think it's a fantastic place to start. And then we can we're just gonna basically tweak those from the changes. So yeah. All right, second augment here. I don't love a lot of these options. I mean, this could be, yeah, okay, it's immediately a trade tracker pick up for YBY1 here. Yeah, this is a hard augment to play with, especially this early into the set, but we're on a 95 HP win streak here. Yeah, YB1 I think actually tabbing out a little bit to go look for some stuff. We actually have a lot of great units for it already. So, Senna is a very easy 2-trait, right? You can play her just with any Slayer and you get Slayer Divinicore in. So that's very easy. Mundo is a triple trait unit, obviously. We're actually on the way to our trade tracker. Like, we're almost in a world here where I feel like we could get a couple of units in and be at 8 traits. And yeah, he's going to start trying to plan this out. Is there, yeah, Graves. Yep, Graves fits fantastically because you can get Oxforce in really easily with Jarvan. The problem is then we're 3 Slayers, so then this doesn't do too much. Is there a Vanguard that we can then fit in that pairs really nicely with these? Because this is only 7 traits. So you'd love to kind of cut a Slayer here and fit a Vanguard. But if you cut Senna, oh no, you cut Senna for Rost, right? And then you get Vanguard in, you still get Divinicore in, yeah, exactly like that, and you still have Slayer in. So that's the plan for YY1, and he has the Rost on bench, man. Oh my god, he's so good. He already knew. I mean, it's so easy, actually, yeah, with that kind of combination of the Jarvan, Graves, and then Rengar fits really nice. There are actually like a lot of variations of this. I mean, usually the way to play trade trackers, you're looking for triple trait units and ways to play around them. But yeah, he has it figured out. He has level 7, he actually can proc it, which is crazy. We're just waiting on, I think it's Jarvan is the only unit in that we were, oh, and Jarvan and Graves are the only units there that we're missing. So once we get either of those, we cash this out and we will be hard chilling. I love trade tracker. It's such a fun augment because, well, I say we'll be hard chilling, and that's not completely true. This is an augment where, step 1 is cashing out, right? Cashing out is really tough. But there is actually a step 2. A lot of people kind of glaze over it and say, okay, you've cashed out, you've won the game. But no, I mean, step 2 is actually pivoting your board in such a way that, you get to actually make usage of all of these emblems. And there have been many a game where somebody's cashed out trade tracker and then hasn't been able to make usage of all of the emblems and then just died after that. It's something that, it's never happened to me, of course, because I don't take this augment that much. But I've seen it happen to really strong players, and so definitely something. I mean, I have full faith in YBO1 to cash this out, but yeah, he's gonna level here. He's he's really just looking for Jarvan at this point because we picked up the Graves. Not looking like, I was wondering if for a second that he was gonna like roll here and try to find the Jarvan just to get a cash out sooner rather than later. But I mean, he's 85 HP. I don't think you're too upset if you even if you lose this fight here, or if you lose this fight and lose the next fight, I think he'll be okay. And we're fighting Lao Hao here, who has a disgusting Vayne setup. Renan's, I mean, the IE is not amazing on Vayne, but Guinsoo is good on her. Renan's gonna be a little bit worse on her, and that's kind of like a stealth, okay, not so stealth nerf to Vayne, but a nerf to Vayne nonetheless. But I mean, that's good. I think Vayne was in too good of a spot. I think they hit everything that really was way too egregious. Yeah, I think fantastic changes overall, and we'll see what the meta ends up looking like after that. Trying to figure out items here. I mean, we have stuff. We have AP items made. I mean, really, we kind of have to see our cash out here. This is also the portal, by the way. I wonder if we take 13 turn. Yeah, we do take 13 turn egg here. Also, we pick up the Jarvan here, so we did not have to roll once. Wow, and we just built out the board easily. I mean, to be fair, we had most of the units. I mean, it was such a good idea from YBO1 to take trade tracker here to plan out his board. I mean, he makes it look easy, right? I think there are a lot of players who would get really stressed out making this cash out, and he just makes it look easy, which is what all the good TFT players do. And the 13 stack egg, I mean, I think makes perfect sense from the perspective we're 75 HP and we're about to get a big cash out here. Even if we lose a few rounds trying to pivot our board, like we'll still be fine here. So let's pick up these emblems here. Okay, so Slayer Oxforce look really nice. Slayer Oxforce Bruiser look really, really nice. Techie also I could see is just a random +1. Anima probably not going to get used, and I always want to call this Nitro because it's Dynamo. It's the two O's, but probably not going to take that. Mana Flow, probably not. Ooh, we roll it down, and oh my god, we get Pandora's plus gold. Health is wealth. I always mix this up. I really wish I had the name. Health is wealth is 1, and then it is health is wealth. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna slam. Yep, these 2 that I talked about. Are we also gonna slam the golden ox? Or are we gonna get rid of that? And I mean, we have Pandora's now. We can actually reforge these if we want. I would slam Oxforce and Techie here, just because Techie, it's really easy. I mean, maybe his idea is it's so easy to fit 2 Techie that we don't even need it. He's really going to reforge 4? Oh my god. That's insane. All right, reforge 4 here. Oh my god. Divinicore and Executioner hit. Those are so easy to fit. TG, and yeah, he's actually just going to make Deathcap and TG here. And just his idea, this game is we are going to play around Divinicore and Slayer. This is, like I said, one of those comps that really did not get nerfed this much this patch. Really just the hit to Zed and nothing else, actually, right? I mean, you know, slight hit to Vayne in that Renan's was nerfed, but I mean, the Senna is a unit that I think people are very high on. Senna not hit at all, so it's yeah, I mean, it's a comp that was barely nerfed at all. We're also just really econing up in this spot here, not worrying so much about having like too little HP. We're really worried about having too little gold here. And I mean, loose streaking is not bad when you have this big egg. It accelerates it. And we do also have this 10 HP sitting in this orb here. YBY1 didn't pick up the orb because he wanted to get free carousel prio, which actually didn't end up making a diff here, but it could have. It could have, and that's what matters. Okay, so we're going to roll down here, pick up the Vex, pick up, not a Sejuani here, there's Gragas. Really hoping to find some Zeds. We do at least pick up Senna 2. We pick up Vex 2 here. 0 Zeds is the only downside to this spot. You'd really like to find Zed at this point, but I mean, Vex 2 you can't be too sad about. Move the Shojin over there, move the Divinicore up there, so we're 5 Divinicore, 4 Slayer. I mean, a pretty nice pivot from YBY1, and honestly, had he hit Zed, it would have been an even better pivot. It's just, you know, we low rolled a little bit. I want to roll down not finding a single Zed, but still not a bad pivot by any means. We do take another loss here, which means our egg gets accelerated a bit more. We pick up Bruiser Spat and Slayer Spat, which I do think are probably going to go in here. Yep, and we're going to get 4 Bruiser in here. I don't know why he's like alt-tab, he's like tabbing every single time, and we do pick up the Zed finally. All right, so now this is our board. 5 Divinicore, 4 Slayer, 4 Bruiser, move the TG over, triple item the Zed here. Yeah, this is looking really, really nice. And he's trying to figure out where he can actually put the Slayer emblem because he doesn't want to lose this. So he has to actually throw it onto bench here. Zed, my god. The Zed unit, people were memeing on him so early on PvE, but look at that. Zed 1 deals as much damage as Vex 2. The Zed unit is just a complete monster here. And he is going to pick up the HP now just because he's like, I could actually like die or something. All right, we now get another Divinicore in here. We're going to move the Bruiser Spat over to Zed. Oh no, Divinicore over to Zed because we already had Bruiser Spat on him. Yeah, this is great. This is like a multi-trait Zed here. Crack the anvil open. Who are we even looking to itemize at this point? Finish off Senna items, I guess. Looking at maybe QSS here, but yeah, I mean, we need upgrades at this point. Renekton's a huge hit here. That's 6 Divinicore on this board. Oh my god. And then the Executioner moves down there and move the items over to Renekton. Beautiful. And we had Gragas too, taking a bite out of him. We really do still need Zed too before we're like out of the woods, but I mean, still, this is a very, very good spot to be in, I'll say. Absolutely insane spot. So yeah, and we can see the board just kind of pop off in general. Also, give me 1 sec. All right, thank you. Sorry, I got a phone call. And I'm like, look, I don't want to, I know, is there a way actually? Yeah, there is. I should just click this button. There's like a pause recording button that I never use on OBS because like, I don't want to stop recording and start recording because then I have to like edit the video. But if I hit the pause recording, I should just hit the pause recording button. All right, here's our cash out. It's a Fawn plus a Vow. I mean, the Fawn allows us to fit in, I mean, we're playing Aurora right now. I mean, Aurora is a fantastic +1 on this board just because you are playing the Morgana already for the Dynamo. So easy to fit her and then just throw somebody random in here. What else is there? I mean, we could eventually get to like 6 Slayer potential. Wait, we don't... Do we have the Mundo in, or do we not have the Mundo in? No, our 2 bruisers are Gragas plus Cho'Gath. I mean, you could fit 6 Slayer. You'd have to drop Cho too, is the kind of very sus thing, but you could get 6 Slayer in and still keep all your traits in if you wanted to, but maybe it's a little sus. We'll see. We'll see. All right, we have Aurora. We have a last Senna item open, so GS, DB, those both look really, really nice. We can't get the DB, so we take the GS here. Imagine that's just going to go into Senna unless we want to like move something over, which is something that we like could do, but no, I think this is perfectly fine. Yeah, and I mean, or there's also a world where we just push 9, right? Push 9 and play 6 Slayer, or even push 9 and just play 5 costs. I mean, I wouldn't mind this being our board, throw a Garen onto this board, start spreading Slayer to units who don't have it, or honestly, it's Divinicore probably to units because everybody's a Slayer at this point. So yeah, it'd be like spread Divinicore over to Cho'Gath for some extra stats or something. I mean, I wouldn't mind that at all either. But yeah, I mean, you can see just the power of this Zed unit on this board. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, 5 AD is a massive nerf to a unit. Like I said, like a 9% nerf to just everything, because everything scales off AD. And when you 2-star unit, that influences what the 2-star unit's AD is. And, you know, his spell, everything scales off of AD. So I do think, you know, like a 9% AD nerf is like very, very reasonable. But, you know, all of that to say, Zed is a very strong unit, and I'm sure he'll still be a strong unit after the nerf and when the patch comes out, because basically everything's getting nerfed, and when everything gets nerfed, then nobody gets nerfed. Okay, not really, because like some other stuff didn't get nerfed, but you know what I mean. But yeah, I mean, we're clearing out this lobby. Top 4 already locked in at stage 5. I mean, yeah, it's just, it's too easy at this point. And I mean, yeah, we still have this Aurora here throwing stuff in. I'm curious to see what the level 9 does end up being for Mr. YBY1 here. I mean, also just depends on what we hit, but a lot of stuff that we could definitely do. I mean, the downside to playing more Vertical Slayer is just that like the units are going to be like kind of trash. Also, we're reforging this Fawn every single round, I guess, just to look for the best one possible. But okay, which one's the best one? I mean, honestly, I don't. There's one that like there's one that's like after you win a combat, it gives you a gold. There's one it's like when the unit dies, it gives you a gold. And then I forget what the third one does. Honestly, I mean, it's so minor that I don't concern myself with it, but like there's one that's just like objectively better, and I'm trying to remember which one it is, but whatever. I don't think it matters that much, and I don't think it matters that much for YBY1 because he's clearing the lobby. I mean, also Renekton got nerfed, I guess, is the other big piece of this, which does help the comp cap out. Yeah, we are actually going to cap it out with 6 Slayer on this board. It also does fit Vanguard in the board, which is not, you know, a huge trade on this board. It's not nothing. We don't have Golden Oxen, right? Yeah, we'd love to have it, but I mean, there's just not anybody to fit it in with. And I mean, yeah, okay. So we're just gonna, at the end of the day, 6 Slayer is a big spike to our board. It's also like, we can kind of chill here, and like if we hit other stuff, you know, like if we hit a random like Garen 2, we can play it, or we can just, you know, Peepo sit on this board right now and be very pleased with it. And I think the game might be over before we have a chance to get some 2-star 5 costs, because we are just clearing the lobby. My God. All right, 27 HP, Dazno, and a title left on the lobby. I mean, the Renekton taking a bite out of the Zed. You see this a lot, by the way. Renekton take a bite out of one of these itemized Slayers just because it's so much AD for the Renekton to get. And I mean, the Zed doesn't care that much because he's just going to heal up back to full basically on his first cast. So it's really not that bad. And the amount of value that it gives to the Renekton is huge. So we get a kill here. That's a double kill here. Honestly, the video was not that long because YB1 cleared the entire lobby by 6-3. I mean, crazy game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe. Check out my Twitch, all my links down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.